plays a substantial role in causing disease. We're gonna myth bust this together. My name's Sam.
Delusion is not a solution. Woke nutritionists on TikTok are now claiming, with a straight face, that actually being fat isn't unhealthy and doesn't even cause disease. You can't make this stuff up. We're gonna break it all down, but first, welcome back to my channel. I'm Brad Polumbo. I cover all the craziest things on the internet, in our politics, and in the LGBT community from a center-right, moderate perspective. If you're new here, consider settling in, subscribing, and joining this community. We are growing so fast. We just crossed 100K. I'm so thankful to have you all here with me. And as we go through this video, do consider liking and commenting with your thoughts. Now, brace yourself, because we're about to watch this video together, and you will lose brain cells, but I had to watch it, so you do too.
Fat plays a substantial role in causing disease. We're gonna myth bust this together. My name's Sam. I'm a registered dietitian, certified intuitive eating counselor, and certified personal trainer. And I often see comments like this or get questions like this all the time. But what if I need to lose weight for my health? Well, first of all, I'm here to tell you that weight does not equate to health. If this were true, then everybody that resided in a smaller body would have a perfect clean bill of health, would never have a medical disease or condition, and everybody that resides in a larger body would have every medical disease and condition.
What she just said is ridiculous. No one ever said that weight is the only thing that affects your health, girl. Nobody ever said that. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna replace what she just said with cigarette smoking so you can see how dumb it sounds and how quickly her logic falls apart. Cigarette smoking can't be bad for you guys, because if that were true, then people who smoke cigarettes would all have health issues, and people who don't smoke cigarettes would not ever have health issues. Huh? Does this lady, who just told us all about her supposed qualifications, really not understand how cartoonish, how kindergarten level that mental gymnastics logic actually is? But it actually gets weirder.
When we look at the research with body size and disease, it is true that many diseases are found more commonly in people that reside in larger bodies. That, however, does not mean that the size of the body caused the disease. Much of the evidence on this topic is based on epidemiologic research, and we know that this type of research shows association, not causation.
Okay, so what she's arguing is that the evidence we have actually says that there's just a correlation between obesity and severe illness, not a causation, and we don't actually know that, so we shouldn't be assuming that it actually causes the bad health problems. It could just be a pattern and association with some other explanation. It is true that correlation doesn't necessarily mean causation, and many of the studies do look at correlation alone. However, we also have extensive research that examines the causal relationship between obesity and health issues. A literature review published in the Journal of Internal Medicine found a causal relationship, not just a correlation, for all of these diseases: lung cancer, coronary heart disease, high blood pressure, kidney cancer, colorectal cancer, a bunch of other stuff I can't pronounce. You get the idea. It looked at Mendelian randomization studies and found strong evidence of a causal link between excess adiposity and health, and adiposity means obesity in this context. So we're not off to a great start, Cupcake, with you claiming that it's just correlation, not causation, when we do have evidence of both, but maybe she grapples with that. Let's keep going, I guess.
Let's remove weight and health from this conversation and use an example where we see this flaw in research. Let's take male pattern baldness. We know through research that men that are bald have a higher risk of cardiovascular disease, or CVD. No, we don't look at that and say, baldness causes cardiovascular disease. When we look at the research further, we see that bald men have higher levels of testosterone, and high levels of testosterone increase the risk of CVD. Testosterone is the confounder that explains the relationship between the male pattern baldness and CVD.
So again, this is a nonsensical point. She's right. We don't look at a correlation between being bald and heart disease and say that being bald causes heart disease, because based on what we know of science and medicine, there's no reason to think there is a causal relationship between those two things. However, we do understand the science by which obesity, excess body weight, causes these health issues. Here's an explainer video, for example, from MD Anderson Cancer Center that explains how obesity causes cancer.
There are many ways that excess fat can increase your cancer risk. Here are the 3 main ways. Too much body fat can trigger inflammation. Excess body fat and resulting inflammation causes the body to produce too much insulin, and fat cells produce estrogen. Inflammation, excess insulin, and extra estrogen all cause cells to divide more than usual. This rapid division can result in DNA damage, which can result in cancer. You can reduce your risk of cancer by maintaining a healthy weight.
So we view it as causal because we have reasons and theories and knowledge about how it would be causal, whereas something like male pattern baldness and heart issues, we don't. That's why it's different. If I could figure this all out with a couple hours of research on the internet, shouldn't a trained nutritionist know better? But don't worry, there's more.
There are many different confounders that better explain the increased disease incidence in people who reside in larger bodies. Those being fitness, discrimination, and weight cycling and yo-yo dieting. We have research that tells us that across every type of body composition, those who are unfit have a much higher death rate than those who are fit, regardless of the size of their body.
Okay, this doesn't make sense again. People who are fit are, in most cases, going to have less body weight as well. So it's like you can't separate fitness from obesity. That doesn't make any sense.
When we look at discrimination, we know that those that reside in a larger body have so much discrimination and oppression done against them, which causes so much stress. Stress is a risk factor for most obesity-associated diseases. When I sit with clients and hear the discrimination and oppression and stigma that they have when they walk into a medical office or a room just because of the size of their body, that stress alone is harming their health.
Okay, so I'm certainly going to acknowledge that stress can be harmful for your health, but you're deluding yourself if you think that's the entire explanation for the bad outcomes associated with obesity. Like, come on, we know that's not the case. And of course, I don't want anybody to be bullied or discriminated against. And again, I don't doubt that that could have negative outcomes for your health. But it is a weird, ideologically motivated deflection attempt to pretend that that's explaining all the health issues. We know maybe that's a piece of it, but we know it's not the full thing. We already went through the evidence, but we know that's not the case. Plenty of people are bullied or discriminated against for other things and don't experience the same levels of health outcomes that obese people do. It just feels like this lady is doing everything she possibly can to twist herself into pretzels and find a way to claim that being fat isn't unhealthy, when we all know it is. I don't understand it. I really don't. This is not compassionate. This is not kind. Obesity-related causes of death are the second leading cause of preventable death in the United States today, second only to cigarette smoking. And yet, you have folks like this lying to people and telling them that it's perfectly healthy. And she's not just some random weirdo with 5 followers, right? This is a TikTok nutritionist with 673,000 followers. She's spewing this dangerous misinformation to millions of people who are lapping it up in the comments section because, guess what? It's a lot easier to believe these lies than to take accountability and make meaningful changes in your life and grapple with the need to lose weight to preserve your health, because that's not easy. I'm not sitting here to tell you that it's easy to lose weight, but delusion is not a solution. This isn't compassionate. It's a death cult, and the woke movement perpetuating it on TikTok and elsewhere must be combated and rebuffed at every turn, or more of the same people who they think they're helping will continue to suffer the consequences. Alright guys, that's it for this video. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and if you're still here, you must have found something interesting or insightful in some way, so do consider dropping a like and maybe even subscribing and joining this growing community. It would be great to have you here along for the ride. Now that's it for today, but if somehow you're not sick of me yet, you could go here or here to check out more of my content you might just enjoy.